No, exactly. Yeah, that's what I told him. I mean, if you ever want to see your dogs again, give me the raise. It's simple, really. Who closed the Jefferson account? Exactly. I did. So I did my part. Show up. I'll keep the dogs. They're cute. I mean, I'll keep... Oh. Hi there. Snuck up on me. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cheffin with Ucal. Last week, we looked at an Italian dish. This week, we're going to move things a little further east. Stop off in India, look at some traditional cuisine there. With our host as ever, Darren Attenborough. Hello. I would like to welcome you lot back to another episode of Cheffin with Ucal. What we're going to be making here today is Murgh Makhani, as it is formally and appropriately called in India, which means butter chicken. The Makhani meaning butter and the Murgh meaning chicken. Right, I am your host, as always, Darren Attenborough, and I'm going to take you on this culinary journey, exploring the fine variety of spices and flavours and herbs which give us the rich culture coming from Delhi, India. Alright, now stay tuned as we go through here and go through the profile of our spices. We have our ground cumin, which has a very pungent and rich scent to it, followed by our spice and giving us that piquant flavour, the cayenne pepper, followed by some ground cinnamon, which I added because of my culinary genius, and that is the sole reason. I'm not sure if it's a custom addition, so maybe you might want to leave this out of your standard butter chicken recipe unless you are on my level, followed by what we have here is a masala, which is a Indian term for a mixture of ground spices or herbs. And here we have turmeric, pepper, clove and garlic all ground up to make what's called a masala, followed by the last hint of ground nutmeg. We are going to be putting a side of mango chutney, which brand or variety this is up to your choosing. I cannot show a sponsor because I do not need any more legal troubles. Right, and this will essentially effectively round out what we're going to be using to make our marinade, which we will mix in here with a heavy dollop of Greek yogurt. Again, we're going to glance by the brand and sponsor here. Well, because frankly they aren't a sponsor and I don't need to be visiting the courts anymore. Thank you. Yes, so now let's look at what's going to be making up our sauce and giving us the actual butter sauce here. Chicken sauce, we're going to eventually be chopping up some onions. You can use whichever variety of onion you use, but because me, I like to really mix our ethnicities in, mix all the different cultures in, and I like the sweet taste that it may offer, we're choosing to use a Spanish yellow onion. We also have some ginger that we are going to be grating, as well as garlic, and finishing with some heavy cream, heavy table cream. Let me just make sure I block that brand out there. Great. Some heavy table cream. Alright, we will be putting that in a saucepan, really getting flavors together, and that's what we will be stewing and finishing our butter chicken in after it has marinated for some time. Now moving on to the chicken here, we have some chicken breast, which we are going to be dicing into cubes, bite-sized, making it easy for children and the simplest of adults to really wrap their clunky hands around and grasp, and be marinating that with the spice for about an hour before we cook it. Our focus to the pièce de résistance, if I can attempt to be French for a moment, the chicken. Now, the chicken, or Murgh, if you will, can be of a variety of cuts. You may use thighs, but we do here prefer chicken breast because it allows us to cut them into bite-sized pieces or cubes, which will be easier to be coated and make sharing and eating with naan or rice all the more easier. With the power of TV and internet magic, we have had our chicken prepared and cubed, as you can see here, to make them more edible and get them coated evenly. Right, so now what we'll do is we'll begin to prepare our marinade, and then afterwards have it sit in the fridge for at least an hour, if not two, depending on time. If we did do this the right way, we would have prepared this and let it sit overnight to really allow the chicken to marinate in the spices. But now we shall proceed and prepare to make the magic happen. Right, you hold tight. To spoon or Greek yogurt, about a half cup again, because I'm looking for a large portion. double this amount. And then we will add all our spices, add a little bit of crushed garlic into it, and prepare to mix our marinade and let it sit overnight. I will show you the finished product, but I'm sure you can use your imagination of what I'm about to do. Right, now you sit tight. Give a snapshot here of what it looks like before the chicken is fully coated. You see that the cayenne pepper, the cumin, the cinnamon and nutmeg have made the once white Greek yogurt a little darker in complexion, almost beige-like. This will continue to darken as we add our butter and cream in the final mixture. Now we will then finally add our chopped garlic and our shaved ginger into the mixture with a little hint of lemon before we put it to bake and pre-cook before we add it to the sauce that we're going to be making in our saucepan. Alright. We proceed here. We see we have our ingredients ready to make our butter chicken sauce. Ready our minced or shaved garlic, our lemon, as well as our Spanish onion and garlic cloves. As I state time and time again, cleanliness is next to godliness, and if you're not clean, you might as well be a heathen. Right, so we have our mixing utensils that we're currently in use with, and also we have prepared on this end the baking sheet in which we will pre-bake and cook the chicken, a nice saucepan to use for our sauce, and lastly the pot we're going to use for our basmati rice. We'll flash forward here and begin to prepare the rice, and I will join you back when we are placing the chicken in the oven. With that being said, we will go ahead now and preheat the oven to about 375 degrees to make sure we get things rolling here and continually moving forward. Thank you. We're here to add our onions to what's going to be the base of our sauce, by simmering them and getting them to a golden brown, effectively sauteing them. We will also be adding chopped garlic and the shaved ginger here with a hint of lemon, as well as our butter. But one thing that I do have to touch on, and there's something that's been burning on my mind in the recent turn of events, is the lack of empathy shown by this sot, this pissant that has been nominated and voted in to rule one of the superpowers in our world, who has now been causing havoc. I mean, we could spend a whole nother episode perusing into the exploits and the fuckery, for lack of a better term, of such a character. Yet I want to focus here on one of the recent exploits of his, such as this Muslim travel ban. I don't spend too much time on the issue, on the topic. With such ridiculous bans and xenophobic policies put in place, we would never have had the beauty of exploring other cultures, culinary arts such as this butter chicken, or sharing and exploring the vast world of other cultures before us. It is only through sharing and embracing with others are we able to really expand as a people and embrace each other's humanity. And it really irks me and really grinds my gears, and it just rubs me the wrong way when a nation could be so simple, right, so simple, and elect a man of such a caliber to lead a nation and put forth such policies as this. How would we ever explore the butter chicken? How would we ever explore the beauty of cricket or football? Where I'm from in England, we could spend a whole other episode on this, but needless to say, look here, my food's starting to cook and get beyond me. If we don't embrace other cultures and stand up to such ridiculous rhetoric and things put forth by such a comical man with no political acumen, right, it's a bully. How are we ever going to unite as a people around this globe? That is why for our next episode, episode 4 of Cheffin with Ucal, me, your host here, Darren Attenborough, we are going to be focusing on Muslim dishes to stand in solidarity with our Muslim brothers and sisters. And I believe the saying it goes here, Assalamu alaikum, which means, and I've researched this, peace be with you. Right, peace be with you all, and I'm sorry, I had to get it off my chest. Yeah, with the current events going on, I think it needs to be said. Lot must really be taking the piss. Like, you must really be having a laugh and making such a comical looking man your leader. I mean, he looks like a Cheeto. Really? God, really? Is this a man you would want to represent? Anyway, I digress here. We're just finishing up our mixture here. As the onion's brown, we're going to be adding about a half a stick of butter, some tomato paste, as well as chopped garlic and ginger here, with a little hint of the lemon juice, finishing off with some cream. Okay, let's flash forward here and see what this final product looks like. I'm not going to apologise for that one, really, because y'all need to hear that. Yeah, but moving on. We're checking in on a butter chicken here. Yeah, we see it's been in here for about just over 15 minutes. We can see it's got a pre-cook in here. It's about ready to come out. And now by the time we take it out in the last remaining 3 minutes, we're going to add it to our sauce that we're preparing and really put together this final masterpiece. Hey, you sit tight there and rock on with us. Thank you. As we finalize our mixture here, our sauce I should say, we see that our butter chicken has pre-cooked, giving it that nice orangey brown hue. Nice orangey brown hue in the oven as we grilled it on high heat. We started off baking it, but I switched it to a grill on high heat for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now we see our sauce getting that familiar orangey red color. I've added the cream as well as the butter, half a stick of butter, and the tomato sauce. We're going to let that simmer for a bit before we add the chicken. Now you may, if you like, reduce the sauce by taking out, straining it, and then cooking it further. But for our purposes here, we're going to be adding the chicken after it simmers for about 5 minutes or so. Right, so there we have it. A finished product of the butter chicken mixed in with the butter chicken sauce and the plating we have here. We see it on a bed of basmati rice. You can also be sure to serve it with naan bread. And we have it here served with a side of mango chutney to add the extra finish and garnished with some fresh parsley. Traditionally coriander. As always, I would like to thank you for joining me, Darren Attenborough, on this journey and culinary adventure as we explore butter chicken, or more appropriately named, Murgh Makhani. Now I want you to keep your minds open and your hearts open to other cultures and embracing them, because it's only in this way that we can explore the rich world around us. Thank you, and now back to your host, Ucal Shillingford. Well, wasn't that magical? Thank you for watching and joining along with our chef, Darren Attenborough, as he took us on this culinary adventure to India. Please feel free to share it with friends, family, or foe alike, to impart some wisdom on them, or just a gentle nudge to, hey, get off your butt and cook something. If you'd like to be involved in production or think you can do better, please drop a line or reach out to our production team, and they will give you a shout back. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.